What's up, profitable stylist? I am solo this week. Bernard is recovering from last week's video shoot and is not able to make it, or he may pop in at some point. Let's see. I don't know. I'm gonna make an announcement. This is the last week for our Instagram She Hair Color Ring giveaway. So go over to Instagram, follow She Hair, post an image, post a picture, do a follow. Every picture that you tag at that Instagram is going to give you a free entry to receive a free color ring. And we are going to be finding out who the winner is next week of the giveaway. All right. What is the best hair oil for you? For those of you who are not aware, hair oiling is the process of putting a treatment, putting a conditioner, or putting an oil into your hair for the purposes of recovering the condition of your hair to make it better. And it's always been a thing. It's trending really, really good right now. So we figured I'd make a topic about it and we would talk about it. The easy answer, I'm going to get into a lot of details about it, but the easy answer is this. Look, the best oil for you is the one that works for your hair. And I say this every single week at some point: texture, density, porosity. What kind of hair do you have? Wavy, straight, curly. How much hair do you have? A little bit, a lot of it, an average amount of it. And what is the condition of your hair? What is your porosity? Is it dry? Is it brittle? Is it damaged? Is it okay? Is it very healthy, very shiny, very good? All right. You discover what those three things are. And then from there, you figure out how heavy or how light of an oil you need. So if your hair is really damaged and you need some heavier stuff because you need more penetration, you need more conditioning, you need more help if your hair is damaged. If your hair is doing pretty good and it's healthy, then you just need to maintain it. You don't need heavy duty stuff. There are so many different things out there. And at the end of the day, the best answer that I can give you, the short and sweet of it all, follow a consistent regimen. If you're doing what you're supposed to do every single day, every single week, your hair is going to get better. It's no different than keeping a regimented workout. It's no different than keeping a healthy diet. If you keep doing it over and over and over and over and over, it works and you got results. I am a little bit on the fence on this topic. I'm for it and against it both at the same time. I don't like over processing hair and it drives me crazy. A lot of home remedy stuff drives me crazy because we have technology, we have science, and we've gotten to the point where this stuff works and it works extremely efficiently. All right. I have always been of the belief that if it's in your fridge, it's meant to be cooked and eaten, not make yourself into a walking tossed salad. But I also understand that home remedies do exist and they do have their place in this world. So I'm going to do a very quick fire. I made myself a couple of notes here. I'm going to make myself a very quick fire, and then I'm going to talk about the differences between treatments and styling oils. All right. So we've got, and some of you have heard this, and if I miss anything off this list, hit me in the comments and let me know what I missed, all right? So you got rosemary, peppermint, saw palmetto, tea tree, olive, black castor, argan, chamomile, horsetail, jojoba, yoyoba, jojoba. How you pronounce that word? One of those three is the proper, I think it's jojoba? Yeah. Menthol, sulfur, topical caffeine, pumpkin seed, avocado, flax seal, coconut. Coconut's probably, well, most of those are pretty popular, but coconut probably by far right now is the hardest trending one. It's the most popular one. All right. All of those types of oils do have their place. They are moisturizing. They are healthy. Some of them are essential oils. Some of them are anti-inflammatory. Some of those are antibacterial. Some of those promote hair growth. Some of those stimulate. Some of those, everything does something. And it's good. I'm not saying any of them are bad. They're good. But we need to understand why they're good, why they're used, and what purpose are they trying to serve. If you've got dry, fuzzy hair, frizzy, fuzzy, however you want to call it, yeah, that means your hair is lacking moisture. So you got to understand why your hair is lacking moisture. Is your hair lacking moisture because you're in a dry area, because your hair's been overprocessed, because you're in an overly humid area and your hair just gets oversaturated and it just freaks out? You know, what is happening to your hair? That's really what it comes down to. And yeah, if you do something consistently for a week or two, magically any of these things is going to work. My whole mess with do-it-yourself at home oiling treatments, I was doing a show in New Jersey, and we pulled somebody from the audience, and he says, "Oh wow, you know, your hair is so wet. Like why you didn't dry your hair? You just washed your hair." She goes, "Oh no, it's not wet. It's fine. I just have a little bit of product." So, all right, well, let me start flat ironing it. I'll just burn some of the surface excess product off your hair, and we'll go from there, and we'll start using it as a model on stage. I start flat ironing her hair, and I'm telling you, if you ever seen a car do a burnout, the amount of smoke that's generated, or if you ever see a rocket take off into space and the amount of smoke that's generated, I mean, the entire stage looked like I had a smoke machine, like a fog machine going off, right? And I go, "What is in your hair?" She says, "Oh, it's olive oil. I put it in last night. I just haven't rinsed it out yet. I was going to rinse it out tomorrow night." I'm like, "Why you have olive oil on your hair for 2 days for? What are you doing?" She goes, "Oh, I'm oiling my hair. It's a treatment." So yes, people do that. So here's my thing. You have treatment oils and you have styling oils. Styling oils are going to have some kind of silicones, panthenols, alcohols, some kind of thing that's going to coat your hair shaft. It's going to put a film, it's going to put a coat over your hair shaft, over your cuticle layer, and that's going to protect it from heat, from dust, from environmental pollutions, all that kind of stuff, right? And that's what's going to ensure that crazy stuff doesn't get into your hair, and it makes your hair nice, smooth, sleek, shiny, silky, all of those kind of things. And all of those things are good. That's why they're styling oils. Now you have treatment oils, and treatment oils are designed to penetrate into your hair shaft, past your cuticle, try to get to your cortex, try to start repairing some of the bonds in your hair. And you've got multiple different kinds, hydrogen and disulfide and salt bonds, and you got all different kinds of bonds in your hair, okay? And all of those matter because the more the integrity of those bonds are intact, the stronger your hair is, the healthier your hair is. But this is where the treatment oils start getting crazy and people start coming up with all kinds of stuff. So I'm probably going to get some flack for this. Putting oil in your hair, first of all, you have to make sure that your hair is clean before you do it. So if you've got buildup, or if you've been running around all day and sweating and hot and cold in whatever area in the world you're in, how much humidity is in the air or not in the air, and at the end of the day, now it's nighttime and you go and oil your hair out and you haven't cleansed it yet, you've got all that oil sitting on top of the surface, okay? And oil is heavy. It's gotta eventually go into your hair shaft. Half of it's not going to make it, and the other half that does is probably grabbing some of that residual buildup. Let's just call it buildup. It's junk buildup, and it's pulling it into your hair. That's not going to end well under any circumstances, okay? That's not going to be a good day. So now your hair is all oiled up. It's slicked up. And what do most people do? They pull their hair in a ponytail or into a braid, and then they wrap it up into a bun, and then they wrap a towel over it so their pillowcases and their bed sheets don't turn into a hot mess, Here's the thing. When your hair gets saturated, I don't care how it's saturated, whether it's from water, product, oil in this case, When your hair is damp, when it's saturated, it starts to stretch. Think of like a rubber band. It will start to stretch. It can only stretch so far before it snaps. You've got your hair tied up, balled up, bounded up, and then you've got it wrapped up in a towel or in some kind of device, right? And you're letting it sit overnight. When you take it out the next morning, now you've got to unravel that very, very nicely, very, very gently. And then you got to start detangling that hair. And then you got to get in the shower and you got to start washing that out. First of all, oil and water don't go together. So it ain't going to wash out so good. Second of all, you need all these additional hacks. There are 20,000 other hacks, and conditioner's like the most popular hack out there to get oil off your hair. Well, if you need to use a half a bottle or a whole bottle of conditioner to get the oil off your hair, then you've just basically deep treated your hair with conditioner. You didn't need to do the oil to begin with. With that said, any kind of penetration to your hair, look, I understand why people want to go 24 hours. They want to go overnight with it. Or not 24 hours, but overnight with it. The molecule of oil is larger, so it needs to penetrate, especially if it's a home remedy type oil. The molecules of those are just bigger and they take longer to penetrate and to absorb in. So I get it. If anything needs to sit on your hair longer than 30 minutes, that's where I start having problems. Personally, in my opinion, that's where I start hitting red flags. If you got to process more than 30 minutes with anything on your hair, it's probably not the right type of product. There could have been something else out there. Reevaluate your hair. There could have been something else out there that probably would have been more efficient with your time and more efficient for your hair overall. Like every week we talk about hair extensions, right? And I'm always harping about letting your hair to air dry or just letting your hair excessively stay moist for an extended period of time. It blows up your hair shaft. It stretches too much. It's a hot freaking mess. Again, I'm not against oiling. It's just the overnight thing really gets me. I don't get it. Somebody explain it to me a little bit better. I'm going to come back at you. I just don't understand the necessity for, other than it takes that long for it to penetrate your hair. And I'm going to default back to what I just said. There are better products than out there for you. I don't understand why anything needs to sit on the hair longer than 30 minutes. It's my professional opinion as a licensed cosmetologist. That's where I'm going with this. All right. Then you got to rinse it all out. When you're rinsing that oil out, depending on how long your hair is and depending on how much hair you have, if you don't rinse that out completely and you have residual oil left in your hair, it's going to create a whole nother mess of issues. Oil is going to attract other surface debris. It's going to stick on there and then it's going to absorb into your hair shaft. Now you've got foreign pollutants in your hair that you don't want. If you did rinse it out perfectly fine, then that's great. If you have lighter or less hair, softer hair, thinner hair, and you don't rinse it out all the way, then it's just going to sit heavy. It's flat against your face and forget about it. You just got a bad hair day. It is what it is. When you go to blow dry your hair, there's going to be so much excessive steam building off because the blow drying or the flat ironing, curling iron, any kind of styling tools that you're using to do your hair is going to burn off all that excess oil. It's going to create a steam bath on your hair. Steam, excessive heat, all of those things, the rise in temperature is not your friend. It's going to burn your hair, which is going to dry your hair out, which is going to damage your hair out. So even though you're trying to do something good, you're actually doing something bad. And then as far as putting the oil and the application of the oil, some people just plop it on. Some people pour it all over. Some people get a big bowl and they dunk their hair in it. Some people work their way up and up and up and up and up. You gotta remember, but I don't ever see or hear enough people talking about once the oil is in there, doing some kind of a massage to help penetrate some of that oil. I always see everybody talking about, okay, you just got to get it on. You just have to apply it and get it on and make sure it's on there nice. And then that's it. Wrap it up and go. I hear a lot of people talk about wrapping the towel around their head to keep their pillowcases and bed sheets clean, but I don't ever hear enough people talking about, why heat is necessary. Heat breaks oil down. And when the oil is broken down, it can absorb and penetrate to your hair shaft, the delivery system. It helps deliver the oil into your hair so you can start getting that moisturizing, that beneficial, that restorative, reparative results that oils can do for you. So that's why you need heat. You need to warm it up. That's why at the salon, when a client comes in and we do their hair, especially after hair color services, we usually tend to do a deep conditioning treatment afterwards. And the reason why we do that is because as your stylist, we are evaluating those three main things: the texture, the density, and the porosity of your hair. We're also evaluating what level of lightness or darkness, but primarily in the lighter levels of hair color, we're evaluating what level of lightness you're at, because that matters. The lighter your hair is, the blonder you are, the less pigment, the less natural melanin, the less pigment you have in your hair. Your pigment in your hair color determines how much protection, how much natural protection your hair has against the world and the environment and all the tools and all the styling and everything else that we do. So if you're going lighter, you're removing pigment from your hair. Therefore, your hair becomes weaker. It becomes more fragile, more susceptible to damage. That's the other thing that we're evaluating as well too. We're not just trying to upsell you for the sake of upselling you. Deep conditioning treatments help. They matter. They make a world of difference. And then we usually apply it at the shampoo bowl because that's the easiest delivery system in there. Your head is back. Your hair is falling into the bowl, in free fall. We can get in there and massage it into your hair really nice and apply it all the way through. We usually comb it out afterwards to make sure we've got even distribution. And then we put, some stylists put a processing cap just to capture some additional heat in there. Some stylists, just kind of clip it up, and that's fine too. Again, it's dependent on the type of hair you have, but generally, we pop you under the dryer for about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then we take the dryer off and we let you cool down for about 5-10 minutes, 30 minutes in total. And then we take you to the shampoo bowl and we rinse you out and we start giving you a nice massage while we're rinsing it out. And if we don't pop you under the dryer, we still let you sit at room temperature, again, 30 minutes. That's how much time it takes for moisture to penetrate into your hair. So that's the whole thing about doing it professionally at the salon. And the products that we have, the treatments that we have, are specifically designed in a very concentrated dosage to do what it needs to do. We also have products that we recommend and we send you home with. The reason why stylists recommend you, the client, products, and for you stylists out there, it's you really got to do a better job at explaining to your client why they're taking this deep treatment home. Why are you sending home with whatever product you're sending them home with? And you really got to do a way better job at explaining to them the frequency of use per week, how many times per week they need to be using this, and how it needs to start scaling off. And as the client watching this, if you're watching this, you need to do a better job at following the schedule of use. There's a particular treatment that comes to my mind right now that I love a lot, that I do. I sell it. First of all, I do it at the salon. After the services, I do the treatment at the salon, and then I send the client home with the rest of the bottle, with the rest of the tube of the product. Okay. And I tell them for the first week, you got to do it twice a week or 3 times a week. It's situational on the client's hair. The second week, we have to have a phone call conversation, just a very quick couple of text messages or a 30-second phone call. How's it doing? Are you seeing the difference? How silky is your hair compared to last week? Okay, then do it again 3 times a week for this week. Now, week 3, going into week 3, reevaluate the situation of your hair. Okay, it's getting better. Drop it down to twice a week. Okay, week 4, do we need to repeat twice a week again? Or is it improving well? Okay, at week 5, it's perfect. My hair feels amazing. Thank you so much. Oh my God, you're the bestest ever. Okay, great. Continue doing that once a week. You need to maintain. It's no different than doing a diet. It's no different than doing a workout. When people start working out, the first couple of days is painful. The first week is painful. When you first start doing a diet, you're starving the first week because it's different. And your body's freaking out because it's something new. It's got to adjust. It's the same thing with the hair. And then you get into the second week, the third week, the first month, the second month. If you're working out, you start building up and getting toned up and you're feeling great. You got more energy. If you're dieting, you're starting to lose weight. You're trimming up. You're slimming up. You're fitting into your pants again and you feel great. You fast forward 2-3 months later, and then you fast forward 6 months later, everybody's gotten fat again, right? And it's the same thing we see at the salon with hair. Everybody's hair was good condition, and now it's back to being in a bad condition, in a worse condition. And what it comes down to is the frequency wasn't upkept. That schedule was not maintained. And that's the problem. And it's the same problem with a lot of these oil treatments. There's so many different types of these treatments out there, and everybody is claiming that this one is the best one. And they're all good to a certain effect because they do moisturize your hair. But the reason why those results are happening is because people are doing them on a consistent basis. And they're keeping up with that consistent schedule. And that's why you're seeing actual results. It's not that these things magically do something that nothing else can do. If you simply washed your hair every other day and then conditioned your hair consistently, it would be just fine. And I'm saying every other day, I'm just going off of the average. If you've got, oily scalp, you can wash your hair every day. You just, if you feel like you need to remove all those excessive oils from your scalp, if your scalp's naturally generating oil. If your scalp is naturally dry, then maybe shampooing your hair every day isn't the answer. Maybe, going every other day is the answer. That's a whole nother topic, but that's, that has to do, actually, it's not a whole nother topic. The amount of natural oil that your scalp produces also matters with which type of oil treatments you're using and what kind of conditioning treatments you're using as well. So if you're excessively oily, some clients think, or some people think, oh, I don't need any oil treatments. My hair is already oily. I don't want to get it greasier looking. There's no such thing as greasier. If you're already a greaseball to begin with, then it is what it is. Actually, what will end up happening is by putting oil treatments on, it will balance that out slightly, okay? And then when you go to when you go to wash your hair and cleanse the oil treatment off your hair, you'll equally be cleansing your scalp. And then if you're doing the gentle massage like you're supposed to be doing, you'll actually be stimulating your scalp a little bit better as well, and possibly improve the condition of your scalp. And then maybe then your scalp won't be overproducing, the oils that it is. Unless you have some kind of medical issue and your sebaceous glands are out of control, then you need to go see a dermatologist. And if you've got dry scalp, if you've got dandruff, let's say you've got excessive dry scalp to the point where you've got dandruff and you're flaking and all that stuff, doing oil treatments could potentially help soften, loosen your skin and your scalp. And then when you're cleansing it, when you're rinsing it out, you're doing the gentle massages, that could potentially help improve blood circulation and potentially help improve the condition of your scalp. And maybe you won't have as much dandruff, or maybe it'll alleviate all of your dandruff. Unless your sebaceous glands are just not producing enough oils at all, and then that's another medical condition and you need to go see a dermatologist. So at the end of the day, if you have a scalp condition, you need to go get it checked out. It's the best thing to do. As far as dry shampoos, a lot of people will use dry shampoos. Now, if you're doing oil treatments And then you don't want to wash your hair because some people believe that if I do an oil treatment and then if I shampoo my hair, the shampooing, the cleansing, right? The clarification from shampooing will remove the oil treatment from the hair. So instead of washing your hair with shampoo and conditioner, some people opt to use dry shampoo. And I'm not knocking dry shampoo, but you just oiled your hair to put moisture in, and then you spraying or using the powder dry shampoo to remove oil and moisture from your hair. You're doing the opposite. You're achieving the opposite result. Your thought process, you have the best intention in mind. Let's say it that way. You have the best intention in mind, but it's very counterproductive to what you are trying to achieve. So, yeah, if you're doing oil treatments and what was God, what's it called? Slugging, hair slugging, and then you're dry shampooing in between. That don't go together. One of those two things doesn't belong. So alleviate the dry shampoo. When it comes to professional products, there are a lot of choices out there. Okay. And it comes down to two things. They're either, like I said earlier, they're either styling based oils or they're treatment based oils. Styling based oils are meant to be used on a daily basis, or as often as you are styling your hair. Treatment based products, oil products, are designed to be used maybe weekly, maybe bi-weekly. It depends on how damaged your hair is. You should consult with a stylist and have a conversation with them and let them know that this is your struggle, this is your issue, and let them work alongside with you. Because you just feeling your hair and you're saying, oh yeah, after a month, after 2 months, after 3 months, my hair feels great. It feels great because oiling your hair at home is dependent on a lot of penetration. You're having to do it continually every single day or multiple times a week to maintain that. You could save yourself the heartache and the trouble by using a professional product once a week, once every 2 weeks, and maintain good, healthy hair. And then if you're building that level of respect with a stylist, with a cosmetologist, with a professional, you're coming back in to get checkups, in essence. Each time you're coming in to get some kind of a service, whether it's a haircut, whether it's a hair color, hair extensions, keratin treatment, whatever it is that you're getting done. And that's okay. That's totally fine. So that's basically what I've got for you. All right. If you're going, so just to recap and wrap things up, if you're going to do hair oiling at home yourself, make sure the type of oil you're using is for your type of hair. Don't just go off of, I saw this on the internet, I saw this on social media, I saw this on a video somewhere, and it worked for this person and this person. I love the way this person's hair look. You got to pay attention to your hair, okay? And make sure it's not too heavy and it's not too light. It matches your hair. And the way you do that is texture. You have straight, wavy, curly. You have density. You have a lot of hair. You have a little hair. You have an average amount of hair. And the condition of your hair. Come on. Your hair is damaged. Your hair is damaged. And if your hair is in a great condition, you're getting a lot of compliments. Your hair is in a great condition, yeah? So you got to evaluate that porosity, and then you got to really look at the purpose of that oil. Just do a quick Google search, coconut oil. Oh, it's got heavy moisturizing properties. Okay, if your hair is dry, then that's what you need. I have a scalp condition. I have irritation. Okay, then you need some kind of anti-inflammatory thing. I don't know. You need some kind of rosemary oil or something. So you got to look at the different things of the purposes of what each one of those oils are if you're trying to figure this all out by yourself. You got to make sure that you wash your hair first and your hair is clean. You want to apply those oils to clean, damp hair. When you're applying it to pre-dampened hair, pre-wet hair, right? Then the oil is going to absorb anything is going to absorb into your hair better and more evenly all throughout. If you're applying it on dry hair, you're going to need to use a lot of product to get it in there. And then, I don't know. I don't understand why it needs to sit on overnight. I understand why people say that, but I don't agree. You know, the size of the molecule needs time to penetrate into your hair. If you chose the right one, I don't know, man. 30 minutes is enough. 30 minutes is enough to process for anything, you know. We use hair color, and the longest we process hair color for is an hour. You know, it stops working after an hour, and then we have to reapply or we have to do something to it to make it work again. So I don't know about length of time and timing. It just, people, you know, comment on that one, and we'll go back and forth on it. Teach me. Help me understand. And then as far as, again, rinsing out, make sure you rinse it out well. Make sure you rinse it out very, very well. And you may have to shampoo your hair a number of times. And people don't want to shampoo their hair because they feel like they're removing the oil. But you're only removing the excess oil. You're not removing the oil that just penetrated into your scalp. The bonds have received the conditioning agent and ingredients that they wanted, and they'll start mending and repairing themselves. And if you're not gonna use shampoo to wash out an oiling treatment, then that's fine. You're gonna use a lot of conditioner. And by the time you're combining conditioner and oil together, you're basically doing a deep treatment process, you know, not as well as what we would do at the salon, but you're halfway there. So you might as well go to the salon and just get it done and not make a mess out of your bed and your, you know, tub and everything else at home. And then, and make sure you warm up your hair too. You know, hot, warm towel, you know, warm up a towel, throw it in the dryer for a couple of minutes, or, you know, wet your towel, wring it out, hit it with a blow dryer for a little bit, you know, let it get pre-warmed up. They do have warm towels or hot towels. I know they sell those too. You can get those at a store somewhere or online. So there's different ways of doing that if you're going to decide to do this all at home. I'm a little bit opinionated on my side because I am a professional stylist, and I truly do believe that what we do at the salon behind the chair is way more efficient, and we can custom tailor it way better to the client. So getting a consultation is usually 9 times out of 10 for free. It's complimentary. So go to your stylist, have a chat with them, talk about it, and see where you go from there. All right. That's what I got. Yeah, that's what I got. I'm not going to name any specific brands because I believe that there's a place for everything. I'm not going to say any specific, well, I listed the ingredients, but whether one of them is better than the other, I think they all have their place to a certain degree. And they all serve a purpose for something. So I'm not for and against any of them. And again, I'm not against oiling in general. Just you got to do your research. You got to figure out the purpose of why you're doing it. And if your hair is that damaged, maybe you need some help. I can't reiterate enough. Getting a consultation from a professional, whether it's a dermatologist or a stylist, make the world a difference. All right. So stop turning yourselves into tossed salads at home. And if you are into that and you are having good success, like I said, man, hit me up. Let me know. Teach me. Help me understand. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you all next week. We'll go from there.